Chapter 15. Happiness and love are in close places. Love must flow to the family. When a parent has given birth to a child and is holding the child in the parent's embrace, the parent is filled only with the heart of love. Even if the parent pours out all his or her sacrifice, the parent has nothing but solely the heart that loves. This is love. When the parent watches the child eating breast milk in the mother's embrace, the parent's heart that was heavy due to difficult things also becomes peaceful. This kind of love that flows to the child must flow to everyone in the family. Within family relationships, there must not be a wall that blocks. If love does not flow, if the heart feels stifled and heavy and the family is a burden, this is not love. Is it all right if my family is a burden? When I look at my family, my heart that was heavy because of problems from outside must become light. Parents have sacrificed so much and poured out love to their children. If a wall forms in the child's heart as he or she grows, it's because Satan is deceiving him or her. The relationship between parent and child, as well as our relationship with God, is deteriorating as Satan is deceiving us. If it were a different person outside the family and we didn't want to see him or her, perhaps we don't have to. But can we live in the same home while not looking at the ones who are closest to us? They are family we must look at every day when we open our eyes. Now, we must not become Satan's playthings. We must not be deceived and be much better to our families. God regards us as most precious, and the family members whom God put next to us are also precious. We must open the eyes that see them as precious. The love of God must flow to the family so that it can be perfectly restored by love. Happiness and love are in close places. If there is a person in my family whom I do not want to see, where would I go? And to save whom? Where would I go to do mission work while having a heavy heart towards my family? This is to be deceived by oneself. If we only treated our husbands and wives in the way we treat a deacon or deaconess at church, our families can genuinely overflow with love and be happy. Having been so close together for some time, we are not able to see the other person in a precious way. That is why love becomes lukewarm, and confidence and trust in one another become disconnected. Many do well at saying that a family's happiness and love are at the closest places. Yet, we are always trying to find happiness that's closest to us in faraway places. I do not know how to eat the things that are inside me. I live the life of only trying to obtain from outside. This is why I feel hunger inside my spirit. We must know to whom we should give love first. Since many families in this era don't know this correctly, they are breaking apart. If we treated our parents the way we treat other adults, we would never not receive praise. When we have the heart that is always careful with our parents, when we have the heart that honors them, we become revealed as light. We must change our hearts to hearts that regard all the ones God put next to us as precious. We must throw away the habit where we speak warmly to other people but speak in any way we want towards our family members. That I'm tied to a family amidst numerous people in this world is a miracle among miracles. That God put me together as husband and wife amongst so many people is a miracle. If I've gained a family, I must regard them as precious until the moment I die. I must love without reason the family God put next to me. I must know how precious family is. If I do not know how precious it is, the family breaks apart. So we must be thankful towards God's grace and love our families. Happiness and love are in close places. I must not try to find them in other places, but find them in my family. We must become the Word's way of life. If we do well at keeping our own places in our lives and move at the Word, we can bear beautiful fruit Only keeping God's law and obedience according to truth is path that allows us to live. If we only speak, yet there's no action, this is not keeping the law. If we cannot become the Word's way of life, there is no fruit of action. We must become the Word's way of life. There are many people who go to church and think they'll go to heaven, so they live in any way they want. Yet to fulfill our duties, the Word must appear from inside our daily lives. The era of love is not about learning a lesson through the Bible. It is that by the Word, God rests inside me and I move together with Him. God is our master and we are His servants. A servant must lean his or her ear to the sound of the master and move at the master's word. If the servant does not listen to the master's word, and he lives in any way he wants, in no way would the master be in a pleasant mood. The servant who receives his master's instructions of the daily task and follows them just as they are is the servant who carries out his mission. In the era of love, God guides our lives in minute detail. To be one with Him, we must become the Word's way of life.